Hi everyone, welcome to Chronically Beautiful. We are going to make a wreath today. So I got this little wicked wooden piece at the Dollar Tree. I just took off the hanger and I filled in the holes with some hot glue. I am going to paint it with some black chalk paint, and I made this chalk paint, but you can use any black acrylic paint would be fine. I just like chalk paint because it sticks to everything and has a nice matte finish. So I'm just going to paint this sucker up, and then while it dries, I will be able to work on the other part of my project. The supplies for this project came from Dollar Tree, including these cool flowers with the eyeballs. Now, I was having a hard time figuring out how to stick this stuff, so I decided to just cut out a piece of foam core board into the shape of the hat, and that worked really, really well for sticking the flowers onto it. I think that was better than anything else I was going to do with this project. So I'm just trimming it up here. And then in order to know where to glue it, I took the wreath form and pressed it down hard into the foam so that it would create some lines. And then I knew where to place my glue. A high temp glue gun works a little better for this part because the glue doesn't dry as fast, but it is very hot, so be careful. Once I had it pressed all down into the foam core board, I set some heavy things on it to just hold it down on there while it would dry. And then I went back in with my glue gun and just added a whole bunch of glue on top just to give it an extra sturdy kind of, hold on this. This is a Sure Bonder glue gun. I really like it. All right, so now I'm going to jazz up my little wicked sign. I'm using the Aleene's craft glue. I got this at the Dollar Tree. They also sell it at Michael's or wherever. And I'm just painting it on with one of those little spongy brushes. I always get good deals on those at Michael's. They're like 20 cents if you can catch them on sale. And I'm just painting that all on. And then I just want the glitter to be on the wording, so that's why I'm only putting the glue on the letters and not anywhere else on the hat. I had a couple of different kind of black colors of glue in my stash, so I just used what I had. You can always find glitter at Dollar Tree and of course at most craft stores. This did take me a while to get the glitter on there as thick as I wanted it to. First I was sprinkling it with my hand, and then I was like, this is taking too long. So I kind of did a combination of pouring it into my hand and also pouring it straight from the tube. You know how it is with glitter. Everything takes forever. And P.S. there's still glitter everywhere all over my entire workspace in my office right now. And then I'm just going to tap the extra glitter off. And I like to kind of fold it up. I switched my backings there and took the extra. Don't like wasting anything. So I just used the extra, and I did that a couple of times. All right, now while that is drying, we're gonna hop back over to the other part of our project. So I just took all of the heads off these purple Halloween roses. Some of them came with eyeballs and some of them didn't, so I'm kind of alternating rows of eyeballs and not eyeballs, and more eyeballs and not eyeballs. And I laid them all out first to see how I wanted them and how far across I was going to make the rows so that they would fit into that triangle shape. And this is, any wreath that you're making, you gotta just take your time. It looks like it's looking at us. Yee, creepy. I did feel like this thing was looking at me the whole time I was working on it. So I just did that all the way down the wreath, and then all the flower leaves that I had pulled off of the stems I used to make kind of the band on the hat between the brim and the top of the hat. And I was really pleased with how that looked. It kind of gave it a little sort of a different look, and it was an opportunity to use those leaves. I think a lot of times the leaves get wasted on these floral projects. And I was just putting hot glue on the backs of all the flowers and all the leaves and just jamming them down in there. I pressed them down into the foam core kind of as much as I could get them, and that helped to really, really hold, and I haven't had any problems with anything falling off of this wreath. I find definitely that a high temp glue gun really, really holds a lot better than a low temp. All right, we're diving in with this Deco Mesh. I was rolling out pieces of Deco Mesh that were about 8 to 9 inches in length, and I did that until I ran out of everything. I think that I used 2 rolls of each color, purple, orange, and black, and then I was just taking each of those little pieces and rolling it into a tube. And then I took my little tubes and I used pipe cleaners to kind of attach. So I took my little tube, I attached my piece of ribbon. I also got this sparkly ribbon at Dollar Tree. Later on, I decided that just having one piece of the mesh and one little ribbon was not enough, so I then started going in and having multiple pieces. So I had 3 pieces of the mesh, one of each color, and then either a piece of the sparkly black and orange ribbon or a piece of this orange Deco Mesh tube. So I had 2 different designs, and then I just used my pipe cleaner to tie those all together, so I had these little bundles. You definitely want to make bigger bundles rather than just the little small ones that I started with. This is my first project using this technique with the Deco Mesh. I will say it took forever. Once I had all my little bundles, I just started attaching them to the brim part, the bottom part of the Witch Hat Wreath, and I just did that by taking the extra pipe cleaner that was left over from tying the bundles, and then I just twisted that around the bottom of the hat, and I alternated between the ones with the tubes and the ones with the ribbon, and I was really surprised at how full it became and how quickly that happened. You can just go ahead and put however many on that work for you. Like I said, I used 2 rolls of each color and then 1 roll of the orange stuff and 1 roll of the ribbon. And I had leftovers of both of those things. Here's from the back side. You can see I just kind of lay it down on the front. You can slide them around once you have them. And I actually didn't use whole pipe cleaners for this. They do sell those at Dollar Tree. I actually cut them into thirds, because I don't like wasting anything, so it was enough to tie my bundle and to tie it onto the wreath, so I was happy with that. I wouldn't go any smaller than thirds. You might even want to go halves, because that might be a little bit easier for you. At the end of this project, my little fingers were sore and tired from all of this. You'll find that there's only so tight that you could get them on there, and they kind of slide around and are everywhere, but the more you put on, the more stable it becomes. So if you're feeling like it's too thin and too wonky, then of course you can just continue to add. And like I said, everything I used for this was purchased at the Dollar Tree. If you can't find the colors at your Dollar Tree, you can always buy these supplies at a regular craft store. Now this is my favorite little tip. This is a phone ring. It's like a cell phone ring thing that you use as like a kickstand and whatever. They sell them at the Dollar Tree. They are so sticky, and it makes a perfect hanger for the back of any project that you're making. You can put it on a plate, on a sign, however if you're doing those pizza pans. Wow, are they awesome, and they will never come off. They're way, way, way better than the Dollar Tree hooks, I'll tell you that. All right, now is time for this last little bit of fun, where I am putting on all these little spiders. The spiders all came on the eyeball roses, and I just kind of pulled them off and figured I'd stick them back in later. So I'm going around and just sticking my little spiders everywhere that I think looks cute and creepy. And I am going to stick my Wicked sign on as well. And I'm doing it kind of in the middle of the hat. I wanted to do it in such a way that the eyeballs weren't getting covered up, so they actually almost even look through the sign a little bit, which is so cute. You could add on as many little spiders as you wanted. If you had some bats, it would be really cute. So here's the finished product. I was really happy with how it came out. It was a lot of work. It took a little while, but I think it's really cute. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Keep coming back. Take care of you.